Breaking overnight, a driver kills 2 innocent people while running from officers. This was on Veterans Memorial Drive in northwest Harris County. Our Michelle Choi has more on this tragic story.
Steph, 2 innocent men were killed in this tragic crash. This morning, you can still see remnants of that crash that investigators say all started when a Harris County Sheriff's deputy spotted a driver speeding and driving recklessly here on Veterans Memorial Drive. When the deputy tried to pull him over, investigators say the driver of this black Mercedes refused to stop, eventually crossing over a median and into oncoming traffic where he began driving the wrong way. That's when deputies say he hit a man on a bicycle, then moments later crashed head-on into a Buick. We're told the bicyclist's leg was severed by the crash. He was rushed to a hospital where he later died from his injuries. The driver of the Buick, he was trapped in his car and had to be freed. He was then flown by helicopter to a hospital where he too later died from his injuries. Investigators believe the driver who led the chase was intoxicated. They called his actions reckless that resulted in the death of 2 innocent men.
He decided to go into oncoming traffic thinking that he could evade our deputy, and it ended up being a very tragic night for 2 adults and 2 families.
That driver is in the hospital this morning with serious injuries. Investigators say he could face 2 counts of murder. Guys, back to you.